So I've been told that every day is maintenance day when you have a KTM, and so far that's proving to be true. But no major dramas with the new to me 2015 KTM 500 yet. Except for I've noticed clutch fluid leaking out of the master cylinder here. As you can see, it's all over the inside of the handguard there, and it looks like it's coming out of the little rubber dust seal in behind there. So I have got a rebuild kit for the master cylinder, and I'm going to install that. And I've never actually done anything like this before. I've never had a bike with a hydraulic clutch on it, so I don't really know what I'm doing, and there's no videos on YouTube about doing these Brembo ones. I have to assume that they're very similar to the Magura and other hydraulic systems, so hopefully we don't have any dramas. But yeah, I thought I'd make a video of my experiences with this. So first thing I'll be doing is taking off the reservoir cap there, and I'll be taking off the hydraulic line off the front of the master cylinder there, and then I'll be taking the lever off and taking the whole master cylinder off the handlebars and taking it over to the bench. Alright, so this is the master cylinder. We'll just disassemble it. Pulled out that pin. Then we just pull out the dust seal, which is actually just stuck in there. It's got a hard plastic ring around the end of it, which you just pull the whole thing out. Takes a little bit of effort, but just pops right out. And as you can see in there, we've got a circlip to remove with the piston behind it. So just keep all the parts in order so you know how they go back in. And you want to grab yourself some circlip pliers like that. What you actually need to do is to remove the circlip, you need to push the piston in a little bit, because the end of the piston actually sits in the middle of the circlip, so you need to just push it down a little bit, and then you can squeeze the circlip together and pull it out. So here I'm just using the push pin, push the piston down a little bit, grab the circlip, and it should come out pretty easy. And you just pull out your circlip once it's released, and you should be able to just pull out your piston. And there's a spring on the end of it, which all gets replaced with the all balls rebuild kit. So yeah, you can see a fair bit of gunk in there in mine, although the seals look like they're not too bad. So hopefully there's just a bit of shit stuck between the seals and the bore of the cylinder. But I'll put the new kit through it anyway, and see how we go. I'll just clean it all out with some brake cleaner, and hopefully the cylinder bore actually doesn't have any damage or anything. And it looks pretty good. Doesn't seem to be any damage in there. I mean, it shouldn't really have too much damage. The bike's got low hours on it, so should all be in pretty good condition still. Now this little plastic DV thing just pops out with a screwdriver or anything pointy. Just held in there with a little metal ring around the outside. As you can see, mine's got a bit of gunk in there, so I'll try and clean that out with some brake cleaner, and probably an air compressor will be the go for that. So here's the All Balls master cylinder rebuild kit. Comes with a piston and spring. The seal's already on it. a couple of screws for the top of the reservoir, dust seal, and a new circlip. So we just fix the spring onto the end of the piston, obviously. Grab a bit of fresh brake fluid, lube the seals up nice and good. And just pop it back in. You want to try and wiggle it around a bit so that the seal doesn't fold back on itself. You'll see what I mean if you're ever trying to do it. It should go in fairly easily once you've lubed it up, but yeah, just make sure that it's not folded. So take our new circlip out of the fucking plastic bag. Now what I don't have a vice, so I use some vice grips, and what I'll do is I'll put a rag over them to stop it scratching up the master cylinder, and I'll just stand that up in there, clamp it, and just clamp it loosely, just enough to hold it. Because what you got to do is push down that piston again while you're putting in that circlip, so you need both hands really for the job. So if you got somebody or something to hold that whole assembly for you, it makes it a lot easier. So yeah, you just need to push that piston below the lip of where the circlip sits, and then you can pop it in there. It's not too bad. It took me a little bit of farting around to get it, but so once you've got it in there, you want to just double check, make sure that it's seated properly, and all looks pretty good there. Piston pushes in nice and easily, and you want to take your new dust seal out, pop your push pin through it, just make sure it's seated on it in its little spot nicely. There's a little groove there that it sits in. And simply press the dust seal ring into place. So I found that finding a socket that's around about the right size is a good way to push that in nice. And then you're basically done. So that's pretty much it. All you want to do is refit everything, tighten everything up, make sure your copper washers are in place so you don't have any leaks and whatnot. And then of course you're going to have to bleed the system. I'm not going to go into that here. There's plenty of videos on bleeding clutches and whatnot, hydraulic systems. All I can say is good luck. It's a bit of fun, but yeah, once you've done that, it's all good to go. So yeah, hopefully no more leaks, and so yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope this vid helps out someone, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next ride. Cheers.